Do you ever wonder just how healthy are the residents of Volusia County? And where does Volusia County rank in relation to other counties across this great nation of ours? Dr. Bonnie Sorensen, Director of the Volusia County Health Department, sits down to chat about it with Volusia County Community Information Director Dave Byron. And tag and title registrations are not something most of us think about on a regular basis. That is, until we have to find time in our busy schedules to just get it done. I'll fill you in on what action the Volusia County Council took to make the process more convenient for everyone. We'll get some stats on passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport, and I'll fill you in on about how you can get involved in your community as a volunteer. Stick around for these stories, segments, and more on this edition of Volusia Magazine. I'm your host, Amber Patterson. Although the annual auto, boat, or trailer tag renewal can be done by mail or online through the Volusia County Tag Office, often many motorists have to go to a county tag office for this and other registration or title transactions. There can be a wait, and for some people it's difficult to visit a tag office during normal workday hours. That's why the county contracts with Auto Tag Management Group, a Fort Lauderdale, Florida private motor vehicle tag agency. Taking action at a recent meeting in DeLand, the Volusia County Council extended an agreement with the company as an alternative to the county's auto tag offices. While the county is not charged for these services, the vendor does charge a convenience fee for its services to the customers, in addition to those charges required by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. The convenience fees range from $2.19 for a simple auto tag renewal to $9.83 for more complex title transactions. The private tag option has proven a valuable adjunct to the County Revenue Division's normal office operations, particularly for institutional customers such as car dealers. The private company, which has Saturday hours, has locations in Deltona and South Daytona and does more than 100,000 transactions per year. Often the wait time in the private tag office is less than it is in the county's tag office. The County Council's action extended the contract through April 2014. For more information, you can go to the county's website, volusia.org/revenue, and to find the nearest private tag agency near you, you can go to autotagagency.net. Passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport declined 5% in February compared with February of 2012. During February, 47,734 passengers flew in and out of the county-operated airport. This compares with the 50,350 travelers recorded in February of 2012. The decline breaks a trend of traffic increases going back to November of 2009. For the 12 months ending in February, traffic is up 3% from the prior year to 582,024.
Our February traffic declined 5% from last February. It was a small decline. It's really only the fourth drop we've had in 39 months, so it's not a major issue. But we do think that fuel, the price of jet fuel was part of the reason we saw the decline. As jet fuel is now coming down in price a little bit, so we hope it's going to get better next month. But it is a decline, but we think the rest of the year may prove much better than that. Our airlines are doing well. You can see the terminal is filled with people today. And so we think things are going to go very well this month and hopefully for the rest of the year as well.
If you're thinking about air travel, go to flydaytonafirst.com for flight and schedule information. April is National Volunteer Month, and this is a great opportunity for you to find new ways to help your neighbors, animals, or the environment. Thousands of residents are making positive changes in our community by lending their time and talents through Volusia County's volunteer programs. Volunteers rescue stranded sea turtles. They help prevent crime, assist library staff, and more. It's easy to become a volunteer, and it's fun, and it's a valuable way to spend your free time. Citizen volunteers are helping the Volusia County Sheriff's Office take a bite out of crime through the Citizen Observer Program, also known as COP.
Our volunteers give us so much. It's enormous cost savings that you really can't put a price on. The amount of time, the amount of effort, the amount of expertise and work they do for us is just invaluable. The civilian volunteers allow us to do things that maybe we couldn't get done. Sometimes because of a funding issue, we're not able to hire employees in that position. It also allows us, the employees, to do other work so that our volunteers can step up to the plate and do for us. They're out there wanting to help us. We need their help. They do a lot of work for us that allows us to do more and above for the citizens of Volusia County.
By far, our largest group of volunteers work in the county's public libraries, where volunteers assist library staff at public service desks. They check materials in and out and shelve returned materials.
Well, we have a lot of volunteers throughout the library system, and we're fortunate enough that they donated more than 62,000 hours of volunteer time last year. They are committed to the libraries. They see that the libraries are an important part of our community, and without them, we would not be able to maintain our level of service that we maintain in the libraries. They're just so vital to our overall operation.
Volusia County government has 30 advisory boards composed of citizen volunteers who are appointed by the Volusia County Council. These boards serve as an essential role in the policy-making process by providing the County Council with in-depth assessments of issues related to the area of their expertise. As you can see, Volusia County has lots of fun and exciting volunteer opportunities. For more information, visit volusia.org/volunteer.
The County Council is committed to building trails because they improve your quality of life. Trails offer exercise, recreation, access to nature, and alternative transportation routes. They also bring families and friends together to enjoy the outdoors. People of all ages and abilities can enjoy our trails in Volusia County. Whether you're a walker, jogger, inline skater, or bicyclist, we have a trail for you. To learn more about Volusia County's trails, visit volusia.org/trails.
Hey, let's look to the sky to join Volusia Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley for a look at Balloon Fest in New Smyrna Beach.
Hot air balloons are the oldest human-carrying flight technology, with the first manned balloon taking flight in 1783. In the early days, these balloons were the first mechanisms used in air warfare, providing the first available method of elevating well over the battlefield. Today, hot air balloons are mainly used for recreation, and they're the main attraction at the New Smyrna Beach Balloon and Sky Fest, April 5th, 6th, and 7th.
This is our 5th year. When we started, there was just a group of about 3 people out here, and we were trying to figure out what would be fun to do out here at the airport other than just normal airport activities. Someone came up with the idea of hot air balloons. So that first year, we just had a little Friday night thing with about 10 balloons. But so many people came out and it was so much fun, we decided we ought to turn this into more. So it became a whole weekend, and then each year it just has grown and grown and grown. There's so much going on. We like to say that there's really something for everyone, and we think that's true. There are 4 air shows, 2 at night, Friday and Saturday nights, 2 in the daytime, Saturday and Sunday afternoons, full air shows, world-class performers. There's live music going on the stage all weekend.
About 25 balloons are expected at this year's event. Weather permitting, they'll be up for balloon glows Friday and Saturday at sunset, and will fly passenger flights at sunrise on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
It's the most peaceful, calm feeling that you can have. You're literally part of the breeze. You don't feel a breeze because you are the breeze. You fly over the top of houses, the dogs will bark at you.
If a hot air balloon ride is a little too much excitement for you, why not try to ride in a balloon that's tethered to the ground? And in addition to the balloon rides will also be offered for airplanes and specialty aircraft.
We have quite a few World War II aircraft. Some of the old bombers, B-17 bomber, B-25 bomber, T-6 trainers, and then some modern training aircraft from some of the area flight schools too.
There will also be air shows all weekend long.
Last year we had attendees from 22 states and 6 foreign countries that came to our event.
And there are more activities on the grounds. 4-H clubs from all across Florida have come together to produce the first ever 4-H animal encounter. And you won't want to miss Inspiration Village,
where people can come and see all kinds of projects, flying things, NASA things, Boy Scouts are set up, radio-controlled aircraft, inspirational things. There's a whole 4-H animal encounter, all kinds of animals, farm animals, birds of prey, marine life. People can come and see and look and touch.
General admission to the Balloon and Skyfest is only $5. Admission is free for those under the age of 12, for all Boys and Girls Club members, and for all veterans with an ID. For more information on the New Smyrna Beach Balloon and Skyfest, visit balloonandskyfest.com or call 386-957-FEST. That's 386-957-3378. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Joanne Magley.
There are some high-tech changes coming to one of the state's most popular nutrition programs, the WIC program for women, infants, and children. In this segment of Community Health Matters, Stephanie Strong explains that next year, WIC clients will say goodbye to paper vouchers and hello to electronic purchases.
WIC is a federally funded program that provides healthy food, nutrition education, and counseling to eligible clients.
The WIC program is for women, infant, and children, and it's to assure that they have nutrition not only for pregnant women, but also for the babies after they're born.
The WIC program has used paper vouchers like this for years, but thanks to modern technology, the WIC program is now transitioning to an electronic benefit transfer, or EBT system, to serve Florida's eligible families. As a result of this innovation, 500,000 of Florida's most vulnerable mothers and young children will have easier access to healthy food at more than 2,000 locations around the state.
It's going to improve the efficiency of the program, but be very convenient for moms who are trying to pick up their WIC supplement. They'll be able to get them on their card, their electronic benefit transfer card, which will be much nicer than just a paper voucher.
Our state's neediest children and families deserve access to healthy food. Electronic WIC benefits will help families make good food choices that connect to better health. In Volusia County, WIC clients will receive updated information about this new EBT system. The EBT system is scheduled to be up and running in Volusia County by the spring of 2014. To find out if you are eligible for the WIC program, please call 1-866-WIC-FOOD or 1-866-942-3663. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com. Let's turn to the cameras to Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, Dr. Bonnie Sorensen of the Volusia County Health Department, for this discussion about how Volusia ranks on the overall health chart.
Well, thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation at the University of Wisconsin has just released its 4th Community Health Rankings on every county in America. This is a snapshot of how healthy their residents are by comparing their overall health and the factors that influence their health in comparison with all the counties in each state across the country. Our guest in the studio today is Volusia County's Health Department Director, Dr. Bonnie Sorensen, and we want to talk about how Volusia County fared in this year's National Community Health Comparison. Dr. Sorensen, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.
Hey, before we talk about how Volusia County fared in these national health rankings, let's talk about the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation itself. What is this?
The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is a large philanthropic foundation who's been interested in health for many, many years, and they fund a lot of grants for folks across the country to look at health issues, and this is just one of their projects, really.
And my understanding is this is year 4 for this study.
This is the 4th year that these health snapshots or these rankings have been released on the internet.
And I suppose the more years that we do these studies, the more comparative data you'll be able to have to see whether you're improving or getting worse.
Yes, that's the intent, I think, in the sense of being able to trend.
Right.
Are you going in the right direction or the wrong direction, and what can we do about it?
And let's talk about some of the things that the study looks at. I mean, this is I guess something like 3,000 counties across the United States.
Yes.
And what do they look at?
They look at a number of data points. Of course, since it is being compared across the nation, they look at data that's available in every county across the nation. One of the pieces of data is really premature deaths. Looking at each county and the number of premature deaths occurring in each county. They also look at factors that influence health behavior, clinical access to clinical services, socioeconomic factors, as well as the physical environment. So they look at data that they can compare from county to county.
And the factors, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't looked at the report this year, but the factors are not weighted the same, are they?
No, it's interesting. But research shows that the influence on health, all of us think that healthcare is the most important to our health, when in reality our healthcare system is really a disease care system, and folks oftentimes don't access healthcare until they have a disease. In the meanwhile, there are other factors that influence our health. One of the most important are socioeconomic factors. That's attributed, 40% of our health is influenced by the socioeconomic factors that they look at. 30% of our health is influenced by our own behavior, our own health behavior. 20% is influenced by clinical care, and only 10% by our physical environment.
And no matter how we look at it, Dr. Sorensen, it's really up to us to take care of ourselves. And so when it comes to smoking, when it comes to eating the wrong foods, drinking too much alcohol, cliff diving or whatever, that really is a significant influence on your overall health, what you do.
Exactly. We're all individually responsible, although there are other factors that influence health, such as socioeconomic factors that might be something a community could influence.
Sure. All right, well, let's talk about Volusia County. How did we do?
Well, amongst the 3,000 counties, the Robert Wood Johnson actually ranks all the counties within each state.
Okay.
So the Volusia County ranking is compared to all the other counties in Florida.
All 67 counties.
Since we have 67 counties, our ranking is this year 42 out of those 67, with number 1 being the best, the healthiest county, and number 67 being the unhealthiest county. That's less than we were 3 and 4 years ago. We started out at 35 the first 2 years, and then we were 37 last year, and this year we are at 42 out of 67. So we went from mediocre to mediocre minus, I would say.
So we're not going in the right direction, I guess.
No.
And so, I mean, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I think we can look at the specific data points and understand why are we getting worse than other counties. It's interesting to compare ourselves to St. Johns County. St. Johns County is the healthiest county. And when we look at their premature deaths, we look at their behaviors, we look at their socioeconomic factors, theirs are a lot better than ours. Our really decreased ranking, I would think, is due to the premature deaths. Premature deaths is a concept where all of us are expected to live to be age 75. Anyone who dies earlier than age 75, that's considered a premature death. And they count up all the years that we lost as a result of premature deaths. Nationally, premature deaths have been on the decline all over the country, but in Volusia County, we're on the incline. The national average number of years of potential life lost in a county ideally would be about 5,000 years. We are almost at 9,000 years of potential life lost in our community. And that's, I think, the biggest factor that impacted our decrease in ranking this year.
And so, that having been said, that's kind of a startling statement. As a health professional, what do you attribute that to?
Well, premature death, anyone who dies younger than age 75, we can start with babies. Infant mortality, for example, ours is a little higher than the state average. What's interesting about infant mortality, which is basically babies dying before age 1,
right.
African Americans in Volusia County die at least twice as often as white babies in Volusia County. In some areas of our neighborhoods, it's 3 times more often than white babies. If we look at teenagers, suicides are an impact, injuries, deathly injuries are an impact. Sickle cell oftentimes will kill at a young age, and that's more prominent in African Americans. As we look at older adults, white men are expected to live to be the age of 75. White women are expected to live to the age of 80.
Right.
Black men are not expected to make age 75. Their life expectancy is shorter. So the premature deaths in your community are sort of a makeup of the demography, or the types of folks that you have in your community who are dying at a younger age than age 75.
Well, can I make the assumption then that part of the reason for that is socioeconomic? In other words, poverty and that sort of thing comes into play here?
Absolutely. We know that folks who are uninsured, don't access health care as often, tend to access health care late in a stage of their disease, so they tend to die younger. We also know folks who are in poverty and uninsured tend to smoke more, tend to drink more, tend to be less physically active, and really not as well nourished. So all those factors work against us in Volusia County.
You know, I've never looked at the per capita income of St. Johns County, but I'm going to make an uneducated guess that it's higher than Volusia County, and I would suspect, my daughter actually went to school there, so I would suspect that a lot of the people that live in St. John, St. Augustine area probably have a little higher education. They're probably there for education or the lifestyle in St. John, St. Augustine. Do you think that's, I mean, am I probably close to that?
Place matters.
Right.
And in St. Johns County, 80-some% of their kids graduate from high school compared to 63% of our kids. Half the number of their children are living in poverty compared to our children. We have a 25% of our children are living in poverty. Only 12% of their children live in poverty. So where you live matters. And St. Johns County has a healthy population. Half the number of people who smoke, and half the number of people who drink, and half the number of people who don't get any physical activity. So generally their behavior is better, their socioeconomic conditions are better, and therefore their health is better.
Wow. Well, all right, so now that we've said all the negative things about Volusia County, let's talk about a positive in the study for Volusia County, and that is our health facilities. Apparently that's one of our strongest assets.
Exactly. When we look at our ranking in the state related to clinical care, we are 12 out of 67. We have a very robust clinical care system in Volusia County with our multiple hospitals, our trauma care, our medical students, our medical residents, our nursing schools, as well as our hospital taxing districts, all of which are really much richer than many other counties, and yet it is a minimal factor. It's only 20% of our health, unfortunately.
So, looking at it from a broad perspective, Dr. Sorensen, as the, kind of the health professional that kind of oversees all of this in Volusia County, what are the 1 or 2 things that you think that this community can do sort of immediately to start moving in the right direction?
Well, certainly all of our behavior collectively of all Volusians will improve our health if we eat less and move more and don't smoke. But in Volusia County, we also have pockets of areas in our community who are disparately influenced, who are more socioeconomically deprived than other areas of our community. So one of the things that we can do as a community is to look at the health impact in certain neighborhoods of Volusia County and try to focus our efforts to try to raise the socioeconomic conditions as well as the health behaviors in those areas that will greatly improve the overall health in Volusia County.
And I know the health department is doing that. You're working with other community leaders to look at some of these zip code areas where they have real problems,
Yes.
and you're trying to change that.
Yes, many folks in our community are becoming aware that there are health inequities.
Right.
There are health disparities or just differences in health. Health inequities are health disparities that are unjust or
Right.
that are caused by a lack of access to healthy grocery stores, a lack of access to green space or parks, a lack of easy, safe, crime-free neighborhoods. So a lot of us are becoming aware that your place matters.
Right.
Volusia County matters, but a subpopulation of Volusia can be less healthy than the total in Volusia County.
So I'm thinking at the, in the conclusion of all of this, that having this data being done by this Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is a good tool.
It is. It exactly is. It's an opportunity to raise awareness, an opportunity for the community to realize that it's not just health care. It's
Right.
really everybody's business to try to improve the health in our community.
Right.
And because of that, we are going to resurrect our Healthy Volusia initiative. We had a Healthy Volusia initiative a dozen years or so ago, looking at various aspects of health in Volusia, trying to focus on areas, and we're going to convene the community to look at this data. As some folks are aware, the hospitals are looking at community health assessments and community health improvements this year.
Right.
The Affordable Care Act requires each of our not-for-profit hospitals to develop a community health assessment as well as a community health improvement plan. And we therefore now have 5 health assessments and health improvement plans, but we
Wow.
want to have one master health improvement plan. So we're going to convene the Healthy Volusia group again to try to understand the data and then identify areas of priority and identify programs that we can implement.
Well, the study is called the National Health Rankings by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Dr. Sorensen, if there are people out there that like to get this report, how do they get access to it?
It's out on the web. It's called countyhealthrankings.org. So
Okay.
www.countyhealthrankings.org. You can see any county in the United States, what their health is.
Well, I want to thank you very much for sharing the information with us. Good stuff, although we can do better.
We will do better.
We're on it, huh?
Absolutely.
Our guest today, Dr. Bonnie Sorensen, the Director of the Volusia County Health Department. And with that, we'll go back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the News tab to find us. Not only that, but did you know you can view the County Council meeting calendar there too? There you'll find out about meeting dates, activities, special events, topics of interest, and how you can participate. Here's a good one. Explore the world of insects, good or bad, on a hike led by native plant expert Ray Jarrett. It'll be at Hickory Bluff Preserve, located at 598 Guys Road in Onstein, on Saturday, April 6 from 9 to noon. Last but not least, we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. We'll see you next week.